Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Real Football Talk. And I mean, where do we begin? Just look at the intro at the beginning. Just look at the videos, the moments, the most lucrative game in football. Luton have made it. Luton have made it to the Premier League. I mean, Adi, where else to start? I mean, what an amazing day out. Carnival atmosphere. And I mean, the Luton Town performed.
Yeah, amazing occasion. One of those moments where you just never want to miss. And yeah, doing done it. If they managed to, get the result, get to the Premiership, and yeah, just delirium for Luton fans and heartbreak for Coventry City
Yeah,
fans. So,
yeah. I mean, we met some Coventry fan, right, on the way in. Two lovely brothers. Seemed really nice. I mean, I'm not gonna say the same about some of the ones I've met inside who were right opposite me. Um, let's just say it was rather entertaining.
good banter, it's good
Yeah,
banter.
it's good banter. It's good. But no, damn right about that. Commiseration to them. And obviously, they done so well to even get there. And you can see, Rob Edwards, even in his press conference, he was saying, how much he rates them. So
Yeah, I mean, lot of similarities and parallels between the clubs, which has been well documented. So, um, yeah, I just think uh, as a spectacle, it was amazing. The amount of fans there, 85,000 plus. I mean, it was like seeing a who's who of Luton in the stadium.
it was
Literally
amazing.
everyone.
You knew somebody in every corner, didn't you? It was amazing.
Yeah, everywhere you saw someone you knew. It was an amazing occasion, but the atmosphere, wow, what atmosphere! Anyone who loves football, those are the occasions that you don't want to miss. They're once in a lifetime occasions, and certainly glad I was there to witness it.
Tempo, same here, same here. Wouldn't have missed it. I tried my best to get there. So, but yeah,
Amazing.
it was definitely one of the best experience footballing wise I've had. And you know what, for it to be Luton Town, it just takes it to the extra level. Your home, hometown, just doing it just takes it to a different level. And I don't know about you. Even in penalties, I just knew we were gonna do it. I just knew we were gonna do it. I was telling the people next to me, I was like, they were a bit nervous. I'm like, no, trust me, we got this. We got this. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a moment in the game where I really felt nervous. Yeah, sorry, even when Coventry got back into the game. I don't know. I just always felt like Luton had another gear, or once they composed themselves, they'll go again, and which they did. I mean, the game was a lot of people saying game of two halves, um, but I felt
I disagree.
yeah, I felt Luton totally dominated the first half. A lot of those decisions, even though they're correct, they're harsh decisions. They said none of them are intentional.
No,
Or
no. But it's the rule. I think if it was the other way, we would have said, that's the
yeah,
rule, so they have to follow it. So, at the end of the day, they got the right decision. Obviously, I don't know about you. Second goal went in. I didn't even know there was a VAR check. That goes out of the head, and then yeah, next thing you know, getting pulled to say, what, goals off, and the Coventry fans go mad.
yeah, and yeah, it's hard. It's hard following the game because they don't actually communicate it very well. So it's quite hard to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Uh, the extra time one, we saw it clear cut live, so I kind of didn't over celebrate because I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly the second disallowed goal in the
Joe Taylor,
first,
Joe Taylor one. Yeah, yeah.
not the tail end, the one who was it? The second disallowed goal. That's the one where I proper celebrated and just didn't realize it got ruled out.
Mm.
So yeah, it's but it just shows the mental strength of Luton and the players because they had so many things go wrong during the game. They had so many players playing, limping.
Yeah,
Coach
yeah.
Gabriel was clearly injured and playing with an injury. Same with Osho, losing. Lockyer, who is like an inspiration leader to the team. Um, was huge. So I think Luton showed how much character and unity they have to pull out the result. And I'd say every single one of those penalties were well taken by both teams. But
Definitely.
when
Everyone, whole stadium knew he was going to miss. As soon as they showed his face on the big screen and he looked at the way he was, oh my God.
the way he was strolling up as well, it was
It
like
could,
that's someone who's trying to act cool and calm, but is it? And yeah, I mean, even the county's City supporters were like quieting down. You can tell that was the first time they weren't confident in the penalty taker. And as soon as the ball went to, I was like, finally, we got a
someone.
chance here. So, yeah, we got a chance here. And yeah, heartbreaking for the player. I think, is it Roca or something?
Yeah.
It's
Double.
yeah, so it's heartbreaking. But said to he struggled when he came on as well. Like, he looked a level above that level. His touch was poor. He was slow on the ball, making mistakes. So I I didn't think he had a good game when he came on anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
um you know lucky for Luton Town and that he blazed it way over and
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
he went
But
pandemonium. Well, what celebration that was his
yeah, but
party atmosphere. Yeah.
the big thing I was gonna say is I think you kind of touched up on it is our captain to Lockyer to be going off after 5 minutes because we were obviously the initial tackle went in. We weren't sure what's going on, and then we see obviously someone down on the floor. And then I've saw a message on my phone saying that his collapsed and that's why he had to be taken off. So we thought it might be a problem with his ankle or something that he landed awkwardly maybe. So you can imagine being there for 5 minutes with no news of what's going on. Everyone was a bit shocked, and then obviously he went off. But Riesberg, he came in. There were moments he was a bit suspect, but he done a really good job. Really good job, I
I
thought.
thought he handled Ryoka slightly better because physically matches up better against
Yeah.
him. With Lockyer, he's a bit shorter.
Mm.
Um, so Lockyer before the injury, Lockyer was kind of checking, body checking, because before every time the ball went up and then going for the header. So already Lockyer knew there's a physical mismatch, so he had to kind of halt the progress of Goyokas before he went out for a header. But with Reece Buckingham, he had to have to do that. So I think and that's the biggest difference in the game between the two teams was how they handled adversity because
Yeah.
Luton continued playing really well after they lost Lockyer. And, to see your captain collapse unconscious, um, there's a point where Rob Edwards comes onto the pitch and ushers the players away from the scene.
Yeah.
Really good management there to make sure that keep the focus on the match for the players. But Coventry just did not recover once they lost Hamer, and really Hamer was the one player that completely
Well,
wrested control of the game in that second half.
well, they put on instead of Hamer, they put on what's his name? It's gone out of my head now.
Casey Palmer.
Casey Palmer. But then literally a couple of minutes, not couple of minutes, but about half an hour later, they take him off as well.
Yeah, I think that can only be an injury because
It didn't
the
look like it because he was standing on the bench talking to the manager, so it seemed like
yeah,
there was
but
something there maybe.
yeah, because you know it could be a groin injury or one of those ones where you can't tell. So I mean, he certainly was performing better than the player that replaced him. So I think, yeah, that we won't know. I'm sure if we look in the post match comments, we might find out. But yeah, I mean, Mark Robbins is a very classy manager, really humble and gracious in defeat. So I think they'll do well. I mean, they're gonna find it difficult to keep hold of Gyökeres or replace him.
Yeah.
But they've already proven they've got excellent scouting, to find Gustavo Haima, a Brazilian, and he looked a cut above every player there, in my opinion. Yeah, he looked really good. And the way he took control in that second half certainly made Luton Town's job easier in wrestling control of the match once he
Mm.
came off. So yeah, Coventry had no plan after Hamer came off, and Newton carried on. They persevered with their method and their pragmatic approach.
Mm. But what I was gonna say is I know Elijah Adebayo brilliant run, fantastic goal. Jordan Clark, what a touch, and then finish obviously showing the keeper and then slicing it across to hit it into the net. And then obviously yeah, he got man of the match. But I don't know about you. For me, I thought Makamba was the man of the match. I mean, his reading of play, breaking up play every single time, the intensity he was tackling with, winning the ball back in key areas. I think that was the biggest difference, that it didn't give any rhythm to Coventry apart from that 15 minutes, or you would say, in the second half. But every other day it was just him everywhere.
Yeah, I too agree. I thought Nakamba was,
Championship Kante.
yeah. I mean, I thought he was really good, and Nakamba was very strong. I thought Clark was amazing the whole game. Not just even in extra time, the effort he was putting in, running back, running across, recovery runs. I mean, the fitness and stamina of Clark was amazing. To watch it live,
Mm,
we really do appreciate how much the fitness levels are because there's so many players that were gone. That
mm.
had nothing left, going into and still to see Clark, who was putting that much energy on both sides of the game, the whole game to keep going. At one point in that extra time, he went all the way from the left hand side to the right hand side across the pitch, sprinting just to close someone down. I was like, wow, what's
No,
going on?
definitely.
Also, Bell really looked good, won every header. I thought he was very composed on the ball. But the good thing is athletic. They got athletes in the team. They got pace and strength in the back line. So they do have qualities that will cause problems to any team all the time, and that's why, hence, they play the style that they do.
Mm. I mean, how
Because
much,
they
how much,
play
how much,
for it.
how much credit does Robert Wood deserve? Because obviously, sacked by Watford, arch enemies,
Actually,
comes to Luton after Nathan Jones leaves for Southampton, and is taken us that one step, the biggest step in football, you would say. and take us into the Premier League. And it just seems like such a humble guy. Even listening to his press conference and everything, it sounds like an amazing guy, amazing manager to have for Luton Town, and deserves all the credit.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was highly rated when he was at first screen because of the way in which they comfortably got into League One, and it's hard to kick on again after you come into League Two from the conference. So I think he was highly rated. He was playing good football with first green. Watford actually hired him as a long-term approach, a long-term manager, and to change the approach, which they didn't last because they didn't, even though when he got sacked over fifth and not much off the they did understand that still needed a bit more time for consistency. So I'm really happy for him. You can see what a really good, nice person he is. His character is amazing, caring, very compassionate guy. The way he's having tears when looking at the pictures
Yeah,
of
luck.
Locke.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a good thing about him as a manager. And I like the way he didn't do too much of changing the system in terms of shape, but he slowly brought in a more pragmatic style of play, which was maybe slightly less pleasing on the eye, but definitely more effective and less risky.
yeah.
Um,
But it's perfect. It's perfect for these playoff game, like playoff games or cup games, etc. It's perfect for those scenarios.
it is, and the thing is, you can see the players improving as well. Certainly, the back line
Mm.
has, individually, they've all improved so much um, that you can see the attempt even in the today when we're watching the warm ups. There's a lot of work going on just individually with players as well in the warm up, making them do certain drills, certain things that they're going to repeat over the game, making sure they're getting that all correct. So you can tell in terms of development, he has developed the players, and the biggest I think difference they've made is the mentality. He brings that calmness that we see. And that clarity that we see when he speaks to the media, it brings that to the players. The players are very much clear on what they're doing, how they're doing it. Um, he's definitely empowered them too because you see a lot more leaders, a lot more talkers, and he's not that quite a bit different from Nathan Jones in terms of he's not so animated on the sidelines, but he's definitely empowering the players on the pitch because the players on the pitch, we saw it yesterday how many times
The
when they
respect.
gave up cards or something was stopping the way they talk to each other. And I always see that as a good sign when it doesn't always have to be pretty, and you can see some of them kind of telling each other off, but that shows you leaders.
Mm.
You got plenty of guys that are ready to call out if people are slacking, and yeah, he's been a big part of that mental and development of the players.
So I mean, what's next? Because I mean, if we look at it, going to the Premier League, lots of obviously money from the Premier League will come down because of TV rights, sponsorship, etc. Um, we're hoping obviously that will advance the build of Power Core by up until 2024. And in terms of the summer window, I mean, do Luton go like what Fulham or like what Nottingham Forest have done, where they've spent a lot of money to stay in, or do Luton just build on that squad that we have, add a bit more quality and depth because that's what will be required in the Premier League, and will that be enough to keep us in there?
Well, I think it gets harder because the Premier League is such a big step from the Championship in terms of quality and end product quality. But when you look at the model that has got Luton here, they've got like the second or third smallest budget in the Championship
In the
anyway.
Championship, yeah.
Um, they have excellent, talent identification. Scouting team, McArthur does a lot of background checks on players. They do a lot of research on the player before they get them. They work hard on trying to get them for a reasonable price, and I think they should just stick to that model.
Mm.
Obviously, uh, it's a slightly different caliber of players, so the costs and the price will reflect that. But they should still go for those, free agents and players that are going for good price and good market, because then other clubs have managed to do it. I mean, it's not, Nottingham Forest and Fulham method isn't the only way to stay in this league. If you
No,
look at the way Brentford have done it. It's very similar to the way Luton operate, trying to identify players that fit their system, fit they unearth gems, they find good deals. And the best example that everyone keeps going on about now is Brighton. They signing players with great scouting that fit their system, and no one's necessarily heard of them, but they're certainly good enough.
yeah.
And
I mean, for you, what would be a successful season for Luton? Because personally, for me, I think if we could stay up, oh, I mean, it would top what we've done now. But I think for me, if we could compete there, challenge and really show our levels there, I think I'd be happy because
yeah, I mean, the thing is, I like the fact that Rob Edwards is an intelligent manager, and he puts a lot of focus on his coaching team and the team around him. So I do think whatever comes up, he will make the adjustments necessary, and he does have, some Premier League experience as a player, so that should help hopefully in terms of what's required. But let's be honest, that's the style of football is going to be very difficult because um, all Premiership teams can handle the long ball. Those defenders can all handle the long ball number. But that's not the problem whether a team can handle the long ball or not. Burnley were quite good at it, the way they played. It's quite a similar style to the way Luton currently play, but Burnley's style under Dyche is quite similar. But the problem is the fact that it's not as easy to win the ball back.
no, no,
I think that's the biggest problem is the players will have the ball for so long, um, so much more longer than they used to in the championship, and I think the quality then tells in the attacking players. So the style, it's not that it won't create chances, it won't cause problems, because I still think defenders will struggle with the physicality of Elijah Adebayo and Carlton Morris.
Morris, yeah,
But it's more when you know those attacks get stopped, winning the ball back, because you're giving away quite you're playing such a risk ball, a 50-50 ball in the air. There's no guarantee that you're keeping that ball. So I
yeah,
think that's what the problem is, giving it away cheaply, and then teams in the Premiership can easily keep 78% of the ball, and you'll feel the pressure and the crowd getting on your back, and then suddenly you'll concede.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's I do think they might have to play a bit more football, get a bit more of a playmaker in the midfield. So they need to make change. And the biggest thing is their key players, Hovat, Drabe, they're all on loan, but they have to try and
Well, and
find.
and Nakamba, I think that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna add to your comment to say that those loan deals need to be made either permanent or even get it for another season. Whichever's best, really. Get them secured first and foremost, because I know a lot of the Premier League clubs are interested in them players already. And then obviously add on to that quality, because um as well as they've done some of these players in the championship, we do need a better upgrade on some of them, especially in the defense.
Yeah, I think definitely in terms of strength in depth, in both fullback positions, centre back, in every position, strength and depth is the
Yeah,
key.
yeah,
It is a lot more physical, it is a lot more faster. and you are having to work a lot more hard. I mean, you see Luton Town and the amount of work that um
Elijah and Morris put in, yeah.
off the ball, they won't have the energy, to do it for if they're playing against teams keeping the ball 70, 80% percent of the time
Mm.
possession. So yeah, it's gonna be for me. Is as long as they compete, as long as they pick up points, and they give it their,
Listen,
not good.
we need to make Kenworth Road a fortress. You know, Haaland needs to
It's
walk through those
already a
houses, walk through those houses, and make sure you know why he's scared, frightened to come and score there. You know, that's what needs to happen. He needs to know he's in Oak Road.
let's see. Let's see if the Kenny can create more
Yeah,
magic. But
it will. It
I'm
will.
sure. I'm sure. It's not going to be the most favorite ground for the opposition team to go
No.
to. Spacing going to be there. The crowds on right on top of you. It's but like I said, the main thing is it's going to really help with the finances of the club. It's going to help with establishing the foundation and the setup of the club for continued
Mm.
success and continued stay in the Premiership. Hopefully,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
you
I
know,
don't look. Even if we were to come down, I'm not too fast about it because we have a solid base for us to build on, and then because of the money we're gonna get, it's gonna pay off the stadium. We will create even better base for us to build from to go up in the Premier League for a long term stay. Because even if we were to come down, it's fine. We can build in that even more. I mean, we've seen other clubs do that where they go up, come down, obviously reinforce a bit more, make the team even better capable for championship, but also for the Premier League, and then they take that 1-2 step. So listen, it's a journey. It's a journey. It's a great journey. I'm excited. I'm waiting for my season ticket.
good luck with that. I think a lot of people are now.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I mean, like I said, it's kind of nice to see a club with the old school stadia, like just bring it back to this is how it used to be before all the money and rich owners came in, and it's definitely going to be a shock. And the whole season, everyone's going to be talking about it. I
Yep.
just don't time do justice in terms of competing and
Absolutely.
showing that it can be done, and they can still you know make a good fist of it in the Premiership.
Yeah. One thing I
Really,
wanted, one thing I wanted to add before we finish is Peli, Radok, and Panzu. History maker. I mean, non-league to League Two, League One, Championship, and now he's. You know what? I was dying for him to score yesterday. Anytime he got the ball, I was like, "Come on, you need to score," because you know what? This is the guy that deserves to, score and take us to the Premier League. And man, he had a couple of opportunities, and I was really hoping he
they
gets it.
blocked one of them
Yeah.
was a good
I
shot
was,
that got
I was
blocked.
really hoping he gets it because you know what? He deserves that. He would have deserved that. But again, and another one that stayed with the club through from when he was 19. Now he's about 29, 11 years old, 10 years it's been. I mean, what a player.
Yeah, yeah, and those players, yeah, that like I said, that there's a lot of you know nostalgia and romanticism with this Luton team. They've been through a lot, and it showed yesterday, and you can see Elijah
He's
and
funny. He's funny.
Elijah and Pat, they know how to have a good old time, but you can tell that they're ready for an after party after this. So I'm sure the Luton players had a good trip, and it's going to be amazing the open bus parade. Really
Yep.
looking forward to
Can't
that.
wait. Can't wait for it
Uh,
tomorrow. Paint the town orange. I mean, the town was already vibrant, and we came back quite late. Even then, it was live.
it was
So
live, it's vibrant, and it's amazing to see in it the unity, between the fans,
exactly.
the
And the
diversity of the fans, even in Wembley.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean, it's going to be special time. It's Luton Town will bring something special and different to the Premiership, and
100%.
it's going to showcase. something to the whole world that I don't think many people will have seen. You know, we do have multicultural towns and cities up and down the country, but
Not
those
like
teams
Luton.
they make it to the Premier. You don't really see it. Like you don't
Yeah,
see the Aston Villas and but because the stadium is in the heart of Berry Park, it's there's no going away from it. You cannot enter the stadium without seeing the mosques, the grocery stores,
yeah,
the South Asian influence in the area, and the clothes fashion shops and everything,
yeah.
and it's gonna bring a different vibe and different culture to it, and it's gonna be nice, and I think it's gonna show a lot about the town and UK in general.
Listen, whatever it is, it's fantastic for the Premier League. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'm excited. I already hope that the season starts already, but we gotta wait for about 2-3 months now. But yeah, on that note, Adil, thank you. And I mean, obviously, it was amazing to be there and feel that atmosphere. But yeah, for those of you watching, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you